Hey, here comes some people. Hi, everybody. Whoa, 11 people already. That's a lot. Whoa. What's up? I'm talking about the stock market. I'm waiting for some people to come in, so don't hop off yet just because I'm not talking about anything. I'll talk about the stock market and investing and swing trading and day trading and maybe a little crypto, even though I'm not the one to ask. Hello, Magnus. What's up, man? Hi, everybody. You all see that Robinhood is going to be paying out some pretty hefty fines. I had to make a correction in my last post though, because I said they were paying $70 million to their customers. Hey, Crypto Weatherman, they're not paying $70 million to their customers. They're paying $12.6 million to the people who got hurt. I guess FINRA's getting the rest. I don't know. I'm waiting for some people to hop in and ask any stock questions you might have. Crypto Weatherman, thank you for the flowers. I appreciate it. And if you're not following Crypto Weatherman, you know what's funny is like TikTok, the way it works is like you find your little niche and you find your group of people. And I know like a bunch of people in stock and crypto and finance, but there's like a whole world out there of other people who are also in stocks and finance and crypto who we don't encounter. And every once in a while I'll be on like Brian Ross's, his like watching his lives, and he'll be like, yeah, Crypto Weatherman. And I'm like, who's that? And the comments are like, I love Crypto Weatherman, blah, blah. And I click on his page and he's got like 60,000 followers. Like he's like a big name on the crypto space. I've never seen him or heard of him or seen anything about him. Yes, Crypto Machinery. That's funny. That's a funny question, Crypto Machinery, because initially when I started getting into cryptocurrencies, I didn't know too much about it. And watching Wendy's videos, she's always talking about relative strength, Bollinger Bands, technical analysis. And I was like, oh, interesting. I didn't know. Of course, like in retrospect, of course you can use technical analysis, and it's pretty much the same. Moving average, convergence, divergence, like MACD, relative strength, Bollinger Bands. You look for the same exact things that I look for in a stock. And once I started dabbling a little bit more in crypto, I was pulling up the charts and I was looking at the charts the exact same way that I was for my cryptos. How do you feel about ETFs next month or so? We just met. You have a great page. Thank you. ETFs, it depends on what they are, I guess. I mean, like for example, Kathy Wood's ARK fund got hammered and has continued to be getting hammered. But if you're a short-term trader and you're trading these things, it's maybe an opportunity to get in on some, an investment that you believe in at a much lower price. I've been in the ARK fund with 2Ks for a while. When it sold off and got hammered, as tech did recently, I added a little bit more to my position. So I just scaled in on an investment. I don't get worried. In other words, I'm not. And by the way, if you hear that, that's my air conditioner, because it is 11 o'clock at night or whatever, 10 o'clock at night, and it's still like 90 degrees outside in DC. So I'm gonna have my air conditioning on. Hey, Alex just joined. So I forget the question. Oh, ETFs. Yeah, ETFs, I think it depends on what they're largely invested in. If they're in tech, heavily in tech, tech has been making a little bit of a comeback lately. I guess we'll have to wait and see. In crypto, you don't factor in dividends or earnings or business development as much. I agree with you. I agree with you. So anyway, I was going to do this video today because I saw Side Hustle was trending on TikTok, and I thought a lot of people always ask me like, oh, I'd love to be a stock trader, I'd love to trade stocks, but I don't have the time to be a day trader. And I think a lot of people might not know that there's another option here, right? We know you can invest, we know you can day trade, but swing trading is another very viable option for people who work 9-to-5 jobs, especially now that it's going to become easier to start working from home more frequently. I have a lot of friends who were telling me, oh yeah, the office is going to be making us come back to the office. We're going to have to go, my work is going to make me come back to the office. I don't want to go to the office. And they've been speaking with their bosses and stuff, and their bosses were like, look, we're gonna do like 2 days in the office and 3 days at home. You're getting divorced? That's a bummer. What should I do with my AMC? Hold it. Don't let your soon-to-be ex get it. Hey, Nara, what's up? Someone else in the comments the other day thought your name was Manara, because that's what I thought as well. And they were like, oh yeah, Manara is so great. And I was like, who's Manara? Like, it took me a second to realize that they were making the same mistake that I made initially. Anyway, oh, hold on, we got another comment. I've never got to work from home, for fuck's sake. Infusion Pharmacy? Yeah. There are some jobs you just can't. Hey, my mom just joined. Hi. There are some jobs you just are going to have to work, that you're going to have to work in an office, right? Pharmacy is one of them, I guess, right? I mean, maybe one day when they have robots working at the pharmacy and the pharmacist can be at home and get like a call and tell the robot, fill this bottle with 30 pills. You can't capitalize the me? I thought you could. Yeah, well, some jobs aren't going to let you, but they probably never would have in the first place, you know? Trying to do some trading to get out. Yeah, so, this is what I wanted to talk about tonight, was trading stocks as a side hustle, and it's a totally viable option. Day trading is going to be a lot harder from the emotional standpoint too, right? You have to be able to put down a lot of money, because you're looking for stuff that's going to go up, 20 cents, a couple percentage points, 5-6%. 5 or 6%, you have to throw down a lot of money to be able to make a lot of money on that, right? So let's just use a $5 stock. You buy 1,000 shares. It costs you $5,000 to buy 1,000 shares. If that stock goes up 20 cents in a day, 1,000 times 20 cents, you've made $200. Don't forget, by the way, that you're going to owe short-term capital gains, which are significantly higher than long-term capital gains. So you're putting down $5,000 to potentially make $200 in one day. That's day trading. But you need to be glued to your screen as a day trader. You can't get up. You can't walk down, to the office. You can't day trade on your phone while you're in meetings and on phone calls and writing reports and all that kind of stuff. So day trading is a lot harder when you're working a 9-to-5 job, because it requires so much of your attention. You have to be on the chart. It's kind of boring. I know people like to think that stock trading is like this very exciting thing where you're making tons of money, you're trading stocks, yeah, and you can do it on your phone at the gym in between sets, or you can you're on a jet somewhere and you're flying and you're trading stocks and you've got Lamborghinis. But the reality is, for most stock traders, we just spend a lot of our time glued to the screen. It's kind of boring. I don't set stop losses. I don't set anything like that, because I'm always at my screen. If you're working in an office, if you're a pharmacist, you can't be looking at someone's coming in oh, I think I have this thing and I need medicine. You can't be like, yeah, hold on. You know what I mean? That makes it a lot harder. You did? You buy your first stock? Was that AMC or was it something else? Congratulations. If it is AMC, I hope you took some profits. YOLO the rest, but take some. Or not, your call, not financial advice. It's a lot harder if you're a pharmacist to look down and, be like, oh, I got to sell my stock right now because a customer might come in. You might be in a meeting. Your boss might knock on your door and be like, hey, I need to talk to you about something. What do you do if you're trying to make a snap decision on your stock where you have to sell it immediately or you're going to miss your chance to make money? Because a lot of these stocks, here's a prime example. I don't really do this. Hey, Scotty Too Not Hottie. Is that Scotty Too Hottie, the wrestler? I always think of that when I see your username. Can you do the worm as well? The lawsuit on Robinhood, it's the largest FINRA fine ever. I made a mistake in my video. I said 70 million was going to customers. 70 million is not going to customers. 12.6 million is going to customers. It's still, you can do the worm. It's still the largest FINRA fine ever, but 70 million, whether it's going to customers or whoever, is bubkiss. It's nothing to a company like Robinhood. So it's kind of bullshit. Right? I mean, you got to consider that kid killed himself, right? Because he thought he had a mistake because of Robinhood's software or whatever. It was a glitch or something that didn't process until the next morning, and he thought he had this huge loss, and he killed himself. He was like 20 something years old or 18. You can Google it and find out. I don't remember who he was, but yeah, it was awful. So his family is the one who led the charge on this lawsuit. And yes, like on the one hand, it's the biggest FINRA fine ever, $70 million. Hey, Fluent in Finance, everyone go follow him. We're going to be doing some live stuff once a week on various platforms. I saw you said about TD Ameritrade. I'm guessing it's time for me to jump off Robinhood. You know, I'm not anti-Robinhood. Obviously, like when you look at it from like the way Robinhood started was to make investing approachable for the average guy. There were no fees. You could just go on. I want one share of Apple. Boom, done. Robinhood realized they weren't making enough money on that model, right? You going on and buying one share of Apple every month isn't making them very much money. They don't charge commissions like TD Ameritrade used to do. Now all the brokerages are free because of what Robinhood did. So in that aspect, Robinhood really changed the game. But they realized they could make more money encouraging more people to day trade and swing trade and just constantly be trading in and out. But their tech support is lagging. They're not really built for trading stocks. They don't have charts. I think they implemented some charts that are more in depth, but you have to pay for them. Like everything that Robinhood gives you that's like to help you become a better trader, you can already get on TD Ameritrade, or like Nara said, on Fidelity or E-Trade. Any one of these is better in my opinion. Sorry, my TV is on and it just did a thing. They're all better than Robinhood when it comes to what you get. Tech support. There was a time when I was kind of new to trading and TikTok didn't exist. Instagram didn't exist in the way that it does now. Hey, new trader, what's up, man? There wasn't a YouTube. There wasn't anything like this where I can interact with, like I can be watching someone's live on TikTok and go, hey, can you explain this thing to me? So really, like what you had to do was you relied on their tech support, which was amazing. You call Ameritrade's tech support and they answer the phone right away. And they don't bullshit with the whole like, good evening and thank you for calling TD Ameritrade. They're like, TD Ameritrade, this is Scott. They get to it. They don't waste your time. They answer your questions. They're extremely knowledgeable. Thank you. They're extremely knowledgeable and they remain, you have more resources nowadays. With TikTok, you can interact with Stock Talk content creators and ask questions. You can Google it. There's Investopedia. But if you have like a really pressing concern or issue that you're not understanding, why did this thing happen on my account? I see so many times people say like, oh, TD Ameritrade did this to me, or, Robinhood did this to me, when it's not really the brokerage. It's like SEC laws or regulations or whatever. Just hop on the phone. Ameritrade always answers pretty much right away, except for, I think a couple months ago. Yes, their chat feature on Thinkorswim is amazing as well. They don't respond. They don't respond as quickly often on the chat, just because I think it's relatively new, and there's probably a lot of people asking them questions. But they will. And hey, Lawless, I saw you just joined. If you want to leave a comment so I can make you a moderator. Although so far I don't really have any trolls in here tonight. And anyone else who wants to be a moderator, I'll make you one too. Still waiting on that credit card number. I'll DM you afterwards. I think you wanted my social security number too. Don't worry, I got you. Actually, I'll just write it down and put it up here. Hey, Lawless, let me see, how do I make you a moderator? Someone said you just hold your name. I don't see it though. Oh wait, I know what to do. Manage, add moderator. Yay, I have a moderator now. User 46, I am a bull on Ford long term. I've owned Ford stock since they paid a dividend, which was like 1 billion years ago. Ford's dividend was great. The problem with their dividend is that they took on debt to pay the dividend, which is like, Not the greatest idea. And then anytime a company cuts dividends, it's seen as like red flag, big trouble. The stock just dumped after Ford cut their dividend, and then there were other issues with the recession and stuff that they just really never recovered from. They downsized. Ford used to make a ton of cars. They had sedans and convertibles and trucks and vans, and they had their lineup was huge. They've downsized, although it seems like now when you go on their website, they're adding kind of back, which I wish they wouldn't do. I wish Ford would just focus and become kind of minimalist in their approach with their cars and just have their trucks, their SUVs, the Mustang, and the Bronco. I don't have opinions on AT&T because I'm not in that stock, so I'm not like a Jim Cramer who knows every little thing about every company. But they pay a good dividend. They're in the streaming, right? They own some streaming. Is it DirecTV? Not probably the greatest streaming thing to own, right? But I think they make money. Nara, I ditched Ford because they cut the dividend, but right before it started to go up. Yeah, Ford. So what happened for me was I owned a lot of Ford. I still do in like the teens, like the high teens. When it got hammered, I just loaded up because it's a company I like, I believe in. I think this new Bronco is going to be incredibly promising. Someone asked earlier about NIO. I don't know if you're still in here. A lot of these electric car companies are going to do great long term. A lot of them are going to, much like these cryptocurrencies that we're seeing, all these altcoins, some are not going to... How do you feel about Bill Cosby? Will that affect Jell-O stock? 100% short Jell-O. Get out. I think Ford has a lot of promise. When these big companies come into the electrical vehicle space, they're going to run out a lot of these smaller companies, or they'll just acquire them. And I think that's what's going to happen. I think that's what's going to happen with Ford and a lot of these smaller upstart. They'll get acquired. They'll get bought out. Some of them won't make it. So long term, I think when Ford starts, this F-150 Lightning is going to be huge. It can power your house for 3 days. I think that's great. Go long wine and roofies. Sorry, too soon. Yeah. Did you follow Amber, Just Capital on here? She did some video where someone called her out on some conspiracy theory that was insane. And she was like, your argument is about as strong as the structure for the building in Miami. And everyone in the comments was like, too soon, but I laughed. I had Ford in 7, sold around 8. Yeah, I loaded up when Ford was, I think, what was their like all-time low for Ford was like $3 or $4, and I loaded up. I bought a lot of Ford at $3 or $4. Yeah, Ford will come back. Everyone has cut dividends in the past. Tell us what you traded today. Okay. I traded, I don't even know the name. How's that? This ticker symbol was XELA. I had to think about it too. I made a quick day trade. The last couple of weeks have been unbelievably quiet for me. Although I did sell some. What month are we in? June. I sold a bunch of AMC in the beginning of the month. So I'm up huge for the month. But it's like 50% AMC and then 50% like some other stuff. So it's been relatively quiet. These last couple of weeks have been really, really slow. Dave Walmsley, how long AMC will stay at this level? So the good news is if you look at a chart of AMC, which I can't do because I'm not Pablo and I don't hold up my screen like he does because my computer's in my bedroom. If you look at the chart for AMC, it's pretty much leveled off, at least this week, in the 50s to like 60s trading range, which is really a good thing. It's holding support. It doesn't really matter what the price is. What matters is that it's holding support. So it's not going lower. So when you look at a chart for AMC and you see that it has this massive run up to 70, then it dumps. I don't remember how low it got, but it did level off at some point, and that's kind of where we are right now. It's bouncing between like the mid to high 50s, right? It gets into the 60s, it gets into the low 50s, but then it comes back up. And so for And so for that reason, I think AMC could hold, as long as it holds at this level, it could be here for a while. Ideally, though, if we get some more volume, it looks like it could potentially move back up into the high 60s. Who knows? Nara, what are you on to? I have to scroll up. I'm swinging Workhorse and IDEX, also selling covered calls on them. It's awesome. Cool. The market has been okay for me this year. Yeah, that's the problem. Like, it depends on what you're invested in, right? You know, if you're heavy in tech, the beginning of this year, since I guess the election, which is also the beginning of the year, was tech didn't do so great initially. Blue chip stocks, large cap stocks, Johnson, you know, the stuff that you use, think Procter & Gamble, Johnson & Johnson, Microsoft, McDonald's, banks have done very well. Tech, maybe less well. Although within the last couple of weeks, I've noticed that a lot of my tech stocks were coming back. So it depends on what you're in, is my point. If you're very heavily in tech, you think, well, this is the worst stock market ever for me. If you're very heavy in large cap stocks and dividend paying blue chip stocks, then you're thinking like, hey, things are great. The Dow Jones is like at record highs, by the way. So for the people who are saying, oh, the stock market stinks, you're just in wrong investments. Not necessarily wrong long term, but just in this moment. Completely Lawless user Ghostbox says the first 2 weeks of July are historically great in the markets. I wonder if there's a reason. You know, he's coming to DC in soon because his kid is going to AU, which is like right down the street from me. Nvidia has been a rocket, and I think it's just the first half. Time for a run on Apple with earnings about a month out. Yeah, Apple's been moving a little higher. A couple things. First of all, I love Apple. I'm heavily invested in it. And I have very high hopes for Apple and the future. But they have a lot of shares on the market. 16 billion. That's a lot. It's going to be very hard to move the stock. As we've seen, when Apple has really, really good earnings, it kind of just like, you know, goes up a little bit. It doesn't rocket like it used to because you're having to move 16 billion shares. What I would like Apple to do is do some buybacks, which I know people don't like. People think, hey, if you have $90 billion, put it in the business, use it to innovate, pay off debts. But Apple doesn't really have those problems, and they have so much cash that I think maybe the buybacks in the terms of Apple could maybe help because it would bring down the amount of shares outstanding. I don't know what it would bring it to because I'm not that good at math. But if they're doing a $90 billion buyback and their stock is in the 130s-ish, I don't know. Someone can figure it out. We'll see how many shares they could buy back. You sent me that Apple article today. Yes, you did. 1 share per iPhone sounds reasonable. Yeah, Nara, I agree with you. Buybacks are putting money into the business. I sent you that Apple article today. I just read that comment. Max Earn NSS. That's why you must diversify your portfolio. I agree. There's not enough people who are diversing their portfolio or having a diversified portfolio. And I think part of the reason is a lot of these traders are new. And so they're coming into the markets. They don't know much about the stock market in general, which is fine. But they're getting very heavily invested into the stuff that they like and they use, which happens to be, you know, tech. It's tech. It's not household stocks. It's not Johnson & Johnson. It's not, you know, Clorox. It's not Pepsi or Coke or any of these Starbucks. You know, it's tech. That's what they know. That's what they buy. And so as a result, sorry, I just got a bunch of new comments in and I'm trying to keep up. Someone told me I don't keep up fast enough with the comments. Do you have to pay to get real-time charts on Thinkorswim? No, you don't have to pay. Hey, Snacktivist, I got coffee with you today. Do you have to pay to get real-time charts on Thinkorswim? No. But there is something, you don't get real-time. You have to call or you have to ask them to update your account to real-time charts. I did it so long ago that I don't remember what it is, but if Alex is still in here, BLK is his username something. I don't know if he's still in here. He went through this recently because he DM'd me on Instagram, which you can do if you want to send me a DM. You can DM me on Instagram, and I'll answer your question. But he had to go through this recently because you get like real time or real time 2, and that's what you want. Hey, he is in here. Crypto is the future for investing. Maybe. Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm sure crypto is going to be huge in the future. I don't know why I said maybe. My grandfather worked for Procter & Gamble for 40 years. I've had stock since I was born. I have also had Procter & Gamble stock since I was born because my mom bought it for me, who might still be in this chat. I don't know if she's still in here. It's through the settings on your account. Hey, Camo can't see me. We have similar cars. Yeah, it's on the settings somewhere. I actually might have a video on my YouTube channel, although I don't think I do, but I can put one up. Let me write a note. Real-time quotes. YouTube. I'll make it up. I'll make that video. Hey, D. Vincent, thank you for the follow. Yeah, and where's the guy who said he had Procter & Gamble for 40 years? If you're, hey, LGNYC, I haven't seen you in a while. If you're, but I haven't been live in a while, so maybe that's why. Is Anu in here too? Are all my New York people in here? Scotty to Not Hottie, thank you. You're great to listen to. If you went live, you'd be great to listen to too. What was I saying? I forget what I was talking about. Oh, the Procter & Gamble guy. If you had Procter & Gamble for 40 years, reinvesting your dividend, there's a reason why you always hear of old people saying, I live off my dividend. You can't live off your dividend if you only have 10 shares in a company and you're not reinvesting, or even 100 shares and you're not reinvesting. It's compounding. Do you know how Schwab and Ameritrade will integrate? I don't, but they did just send out an email maybe a month or two ago saying that, hey, great news, everybody. Thinkorswim is going to remain and we're not getting rid of it. Like, why would they ever do that in the first place? Thinkorswim is great, but I think they were just confirming that like it's not going anywhere. I don't know if TD Ameritrade and Schwab websites will merge with a new name, a new website. I don't know, but Thinkorswim is going to remain. Yes, compounding monthly is huge. If you have 100 shares and you're earning a dividend, you know what I'm going to use is O. I don't know if Snacktivist is still in here, but we were just talking about that today. If you have O, which is Realty Income, it's in the 60s per share. They pay a 23-cent dividend, but they pay it monthly, which is great. They pay a sorry, my friend just texted me. What's she saying? Go away. I'm live on TikTok. Stop texting me. They pay a monthly dividend of $23 or 23 cents. So if you have 100 shares, you're earning $23 a month. Doesn't seem like a lot. But if you're constantly adding to your position over time, it can become a lot. Say you have 1,000 shares one day, which would mean about $60,000 invested in the stock, which I know at least at its current price. You might have a situation where the stock doubles in price or it tanks. So I'm just saying 60,000 as like a example. If you were to buy it now, 1,000 shares, you'd be earning $230 a month. And as long as you're putting that $230 back into the stock over and over, there's going to come a point where you're buying an extra 1 or 2 shares per month if you are dollar cost averaging, adding to your position and building it. I know it seems hard to do right now. How am I ever going to have 1,000 shares of a $60 stock? But you can do it, especially if you live below your means. You don't have to tell me, Max Earns. I'm telling you, blockchain is the future. That's why crypto is becoming the new market. I don't think you're right. I don't know why it sounds like you're arguing with me. I agree with you. I don't know. I missed the question. Nara is answering it. 7-Eleven, Walgreens, CVS. They have a ton of stuff. You can go on their website. They have 60, and they're all like retail grocery stores and stuff like that. It's possible when we stop eating out. Yeah, it's possible. Like, you can live below your means. You really can. You can live below your means. I know it's a lot harder for some people to do. But it all comes down to the choices you make, right? You can be uncomfortable. You can be uncomfortable in the short term because the long-term payoff is going to be great. I have a friend of mine who tells me her rent is $500 a month in DC, and I was like, what? Hey, Kelly. Angel Bay Trades, right there. Everyone should follow. She's new to TikTok, but she's not new to stocks. She's smart. Her videos are great. There need to be more women in stocks and in trading, so I'm glad she's here. Because I think a lot of people get they feel like stock trading is like an old white guy thing, right? Like, so, oh, I'm not going to trade stocks. So it's great that people like Kelly are here. I can't live below the memes. No, I can't live below the memes either. But so anyway, this friend of mine, her rent is $500 a month. And I was like, how in DC is that possible? Because she lives in a group house with a ton of people. She's in her 30s. Part of her feels like, I'm so embarrassed. I should have my own house. I should be married and have kids and live in the suburbs by now. But the other point is she's making a lot of money at her job and she's spending almost next to nothing because she's making herself uncomfortable. So later on, she can be better off. If she's investing, that's great. Angel is good. She's a good teacher. She is. Her videos are really helpful. So you just have to think about what you can do to make yourself a little bit uncomfortable. You don't want to be miserable, but moving back in with your parents. I know that seems like not the ideal scenario. I think a lot of people think like I'm 18 or I'm 21. I got to be on my own. It's going to be hard to do nowadays when no one's getting paid a living wage and prices are exploding. Rent is so expensive. Nara, I have roommates too, but they just eat my food and never chip on the mortgage. Never chip in on the mortgage. Yeah, Camo, you're right. It's a big sacrifice with a big outcome. If you live at home, so let me just tell you what I did. I didn't go to college. I think a lot of people probably know that by now. I wanted to be a pro wrestler. I think a lot of people know by now that I'm not. I broke my back. I moved home. I was living with my mom, and I was first of all, recovering from having a broken back. So for the first couple months, I didn't really do a lot. And then my mom, you eat ramen every day. That's what you do. You get tuna and ramen and, frozen food, frozen fruits and vegetables where you can get them for a ton of money, for a ton of stuff for not a lot of money. Shared housing, living with your parents, group housing where you and a bunch of friends go in on a place. You then end up paying $500 a month for rent when everyone else is paying $2,000 or $3,000 to rent a one-bedroom in Washington, D.C. You make yourself uncomfortable, or you move back in with your parents. Brian Ross talks about this. Dine and ditch is another option, although you might get arrested. But Brian Ross talks about this all the time. Live at home with your parents. It's going to suck, but you do it. And you save your money. That's what I did. I was living at home, and my mom was like, look. I don't know if you heard that thunder. Every parent in the world wants their kid out of the house. That's the fantasy. They turn 18, they go to college, they never come back. Parents don't want you moving back in when you're in your 20s. But if you live at home, you're not paying rent. Maybe your parents are asking you to chip in, maybe they're not, depending on circumstances. All that money, if you are smart, should be going into savings and investments. That's where it should be going. I think a lot of people, we don't talk, hey, Snacktivist, what about all the money for therapy after living with your parents? Yeah, you're screwed. Maybe you can go to family therapy with your parents and they can pay for it. Hey, Peg City. You want your kids to stay with you? Who's the tycoonist? Is going to hit me up? Yeah, you live at home. You save your money. Well, you have to have some savings. I know everyone is anti-savings, but you have to have some. If you put all of it's like your rainy day fund. If you put all of your money into stocks or crypto or something that's high risk, or you don't save your money, and you get laid off, what are you going to do? You're going to sell your stock to keep you afloat? What if the markets tank and you're selling your stock at a huge loss because you're desperate for some money? A savings account is not the worst advice. You need to have some money in savings. Majority should be invested. Tycoonist is a long value investor. I don't know him. You don't want to tie up all your money in investments if you get laid off. What are your thoughts on a savings limit? I would say know how much your expenses cost you for 6 months. That seems to be the pretty standard. You get fired, it's gonna, if there's a recession or whatever, you want to be able to stay afloat for 6 months. Imagine putting all your money into investments that tank because there's a recession or a housing crisis or something where the markets are just down for an extended period, and you're selling quality investments to keep your bills paid. You have to do what you have to do. At the end of the day, if that's what you have to do, that's what you have to do. But wouldn't it be better if you could not do that because you prepared and you had 6 months in savings? I agree, you really need it. You can pull the principal. Does your mom trade? My mom does not trade, but she's a very, very smart long-term investor. My grandma was too. That's not where I learned to trade from, but that's where I learned to invest. What are your thoughts on the sports betting sector? DraftKings. I don't know the other one. What's the other one? Someone will say it in the comments. I don't have any thoughts on Diddy Coin. Diddy Coin or Diddly Coin? No, I don't like David Ramsey. Kelly, did you make any profits this week? Stock market was good. So I made not much. This week was kind of quiet for me. I didn't make too much. I said in the beginning of the video before you joined that at the beginning of the month, I sold off a bunch of AMC. So I'm up huge on the month, but activity-wise, it's been pretty quiet and pretty boring. So I made a bunch of money in the beginning of the month. I made it, FanDuel, that's the other one. Oh, and Penn. Yeah, Penn something gaming. I like them. I don't watch sports, so I'm not the person to ask about sports betting. I know Ashton, if you follow Ashton Noland, has done some videos on DraftKings. Kathy Wood is heavily invested in DraftKings. I think, don't quote me. Someone who knows better about the ARK fund will say that, although I think she does invest heavily in it. You made $600 on covered calls. Is this your Workhorse and IDEX thing? Was it Workhorse or was it Upwork? I can't remember what you said. If you like sports, if you like betting on sports, I think sports betting stocks are great, especially now that things are coming back, right? Sports are back, right? People are going to watch sports. I don't really know. Savings account interest is, you don't have a savings account for the interest. You have a savings account to bail yourself out if you get laid off and you have no money to pay rent. Who had CPOP today? Not me. Not an expert, but it works. What did I miss, Kelly? What are you not an expert in? What works? Anyway, I don't know a lot about sports. Therefore, I don't know a lot about these sports betting stocks. I'm not the one to ask about DraftKings or Penn or the other one. Stonk Presidente also does a lot of videos on Penn gaming. I don't use Webull. I use TD Ameritrade. That's what I've used for the last 11 years that I've been trading, but I've been investing for probably 15 or longer. So I've been using Ameritrade for a very long time. I've been using Ameritrade for so long that I used to pay $10 to buy and $10 to sell. That's how long. Yeah, I remember those Crypto Dabbler or Dabber. I remember those big CDs as well. And interest rates in savings accounts used to be really high. When I was a little kid, my mom, I had First Union, I had a First Union Bank account where I earned like 7% interest. Unbelievable. Now it's like that guy said, 0.001. But I still personally have savings. I have money in a savings account to keep me afloat for 6 months, so I don't have to sell my investments, so I don't have to sell my stocks if something is to happen, because as a stock trader, there are months, weeks, days, months where markets are very quiet. And you might also be in a situation where the stuff you're trading is quiet, right? I don't know how many people on here follow Josh. I think his username is Alpha Day Trading. Sometimes he'll post a video where he'll be like, I made $2,000 today. And I'm sitting there going, I didn't. But then other days he goes, man, it's the slowest day ever. I haven't made any money yet. And now I'm up 2,000. So it depends on there's not like a guaranteed income for this. So you're going to have days where someone's making a ton and you're not making anything. And then there's going to be large periods of time where the markets are just generally very quiet and no one's making anything. It's just trading sideways, which you can still do covered calls and stuff like that and generate income. But if you're exclusively a stock trader like me, that's why I like having savings. So I don't have to go, oh man, I haven't made any money this month and I have condo fees and bills and insurance, which you have to pay. Oh, I'm going to have to sell 5 shares of Apple, or I'm going to have to sell some whatever. That's why I like having savings. I have to scroll up because I missed what Kelly said. Oh, Drenoco 07, is the market overbought? Maybe, but I don't think overbought necessarily means that there's going to be a humongous crash. I think maybe some corrections. We could be seeing more frequent corrections. Like, think about March when COVID hit, not the most recent one, but the one a year ago. I thought we're at the beginning of some humongous sell-off that's going to be months of the market, like in 2008, where it was just red for months. That's what I thought. And it turned out to be pretty quick. Market sold off. They went right back up. I imagine that we might see that more often in the future. Shorter term sell-offs where the big money comes in and loads up. Holy shit. Hold on. I have 16 new messages. I got to catch up. Crypto thoughts, bullish or bearish? Well, I'm a long-term investor in my crypto. I don't trade it. So I don't care short-term, bearish. It could be quiet for a couple months. Some people say it could be a bear market for a year or two. I don't care because I'm a long-term investor. So if there is a bear market, it doesn't affect me. I generate my income from trading stocks, not trading crypto. So if there is a bear market in crypto for a couple months or years, like some people are saying, it's just an opportunity for me to buy up on the stuff that I believe in and like long-term. So, so I'm bullish. I'm bullish on crypto. I load up on stuff slowly, right? Because I don't know a lot about crypto. People seem to think that there's going to be this crypto bear market that could last a year or whatever. Short term, it was down. Now it's up. It's great if you're a stock trader or a crypto trader. I'm not. I would like to start trading in crypto a little bit more though. Angel, you've never noticed it on Robinhood. I use both. I'm missing all kinds of stuff here. Let me catch up. They all do it at standard market. What are you guys talking about in here? A CD at 5.25%. Bro, are you from the 70s or 80s? I am. I was born in 1985. I think I'm all caught up. Kelly, I don't see what you're telling me to scroll up and answer. You're going to have to repost it. Well, full disclosure, Crypto.com is paying me $3,000 to make 15 videos from them to put out over the course of 3 months. You asked. I'm not gonna not tell you. Hey, Jonathan Judas. What crypto do I buy? My name is not Mikey. Oh, she has a wait time on TD Ameritrade. Oh, okay. So wait time on TD Ameritrade, unless the markets are going absolutely insane like they were with GameStop and AMC a couple months ago, generally it takes like no time on the phone. I usually get through right away. If you're doing the chat on Thinkorswim, it can take a little bit of time because I think it's new. Put that deal in your Roth. I don't have a Roth IRA. I don't qualify for one because I'm a stock trader. So according to, is it the IRS? I guess it's the IRS. The money that I'm making from my stock trades, because it's coming from stocks and investments, is called unearned income. It's not earned income like you, who goes to your office every day or your retail job and you punch in and you punch out. Whoa, it's raining like crazy here. Sorry, I wanted to answer Mike. My name is not Mikey. You asked, what crypto do I buy? The crypto that I buy is pretty much the crypto that everyone buys, right? I got Bitcoin, Ethereum, Matic, Cardano, VeChain, a couple others. I still have some Dogecoin from the last time Dogecoin went nuts. Max Earns, you're asking me which platform do you prefer to use? Oh, you're right. Holy shit. That is earned income. I should do that. Holy shit, I wasn't even thinking about that. You're right, it's earned income. Yes, I can have a Roth IRA now. Thank you for Snickerdoodle for saying that. I'll get you a Doink the Clown t-shirt. I know he's your favorite wrestler. I wasn't even thinking. Shit. Max Earns, which platform do you prefer to use? I use TD Ameritrade for stocks. For crypto, yes, I have a Crypto.com account. Yes, Crypto.com is sponsoring me. Before I took the sponsorship, I told them, hold on, let me download the app and put some money in it and see if I like it or not. Because I'm not going to promote something that I think sucks just because I'm getting paid. That's just not me. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be that guy who's like, I love this company, like LeBron James in Toyota ads. That guy's not driving a Toyota. You know what I mean? I would feel sleazy about taking a sponsorship from a company that I don't use or like. Anyway, for crypto, I use Crypto.com and Kraken. I have a Coinbase account only because when I first got into crypto many years ago, before I knew really anything about it, I really have learned the most in crypto over the last year, mostly from following Crypto Wendio. But a long time ago, I opened a Coinbase account because everyone was like, you got to get into crypto. And so I opened the Coinbase account. I bought one Ethereum. Is that how you say it? I bought one Ethereum. And I bought, hey, Demon Crypto with the mustache. By the way, I didn't mean to. I tagged you in that video where she was like a bunch of mediocre looking men decided to grow mustaches, and I tagged you in it. I didn't mean to say that you were mediocre looking. My respect to you for those comments. Some people don't care. You are honest. I am honest. And I owe it to my mom and my grandma, whose birthday was today. She died a few years ago, but today was my grandma's birthday. Ethereum. Yeah, Kraken is where it's at. Prior to getting the sponsorship from Crypto.com, I was heavily using Kraken. Crypto.com, you can stake your currency, your crypto on, but it doesn't. I found in my experience that their rates are like 4%, like 1 to 4% for staking. Kraken, you can stake a smaller amount. I believe you can only stake like 10 coins or less, but the rates are much higher. I meant the donut, not the stock. What? I'm missing so many questions because I have to I'm talking, I answer a question and 30 questions show up. It's all good. My wife told me to settle down. Bollywood super fan. You said you trade options. No, I don't. I don't trade them. I make about 10 options trades per year. and I lose on about 8 of them. I don't know what I'm doing with options. I never have. I've read books. I've watched YouTube videos. Options Trading Daily is my friend. He lives in Maryland. I've talked to him about it. I've watched his videos. Angel's in here. Amber from Just Capital trades options. I just don't get it. I don't like them. I lose almost all the time. I don't really want to take the time to learn how to trade options because I've found what works for me, which is swing trading and occasionally day trading. That's what works for me. That's what I'm comfortable with. That's what I like. And another reason that I talk about this, another reason that I talk about the fact that I don't like options and that I'm not good at options is because I don't want people like inexperienced traders and investors who are new to this world and coming up and watching my channel. I don't want you to think that everyone who's in the world of finance knows how to do everything, or that you have to know how to do everything. I think a lot of people get very overwhelmed when they look at it. Oh man, it's not just stocks. It's shorting, it's options, it's puts, it's calls, it's a short squeeze. What's a short squeeze? It's so many things. Forex, not just crypto, but Forex. Like there's so much. And people it's daunting, right? They look at it and they go, oh man, I don't want to learn all. Well, you don't have to. I found one thing that works for me, and it's stock trading. Lawless, how many other Stock Talk people do you know that are full-time stocks, no day job? Full-time that I know off the top of my head is Ashton Noland. You can follow him. Josh from Alpha Day Trading is a full-time trader. I don't even think like Wendio is a full-time crypto trader. Like she doesn't generate, she does other things for income. If everyone can follow Angel Bay Trades, I mean, I know there's only 26 of you in here, but if you're following me because you like stock content, you can follow her as well. And she's new to TikTok. Oh, you're now full-time? Congratulations. Wow. That lightning is nuts outside. It is raining like crazy in DC. Camo can't see me. 1,000 is the minimum. You have to have 1,000 followers to go live on TikTok. What is your go-to? This is BBBSSS. What is your go-to technical analysis Fibonacci? My go-to is Bollinger Bands, relative strength, volume, like just regular volume. MACD, not so much. I don't like it. I know other people do. I feel, look, all of them are lagging. All the technical analysis tools are lagging. In my personal experience, MACD lags the most. Some people think MACD is the leader and relative strength is the most lagging. Whatever. I don't, you do what works for you. If that's what you think and that's what works in your experience, then you like MACD and that's great. I'm not going to like fight you over it. Not you, but just in general. And then yes, Fibonacci retracements. I love Fibonacci retracements. They just give you like potential price points for cutting a stock to take a loss or locking in profits incrementally. What's like, you'll often hear some stock talk person say, oh, my price target is 1375, 1453, and they have all these like obscure, and people are like, where are you getting? It's from the Fibonacci retracements. That's where they're getting these numbers from. Peg City, favorite new metal band? I don't know. What's a new metal band? When I think new metal, I think like Drowning Pool. I never really liked Drowning Pool. Snickerdoodle, you're here for the Doink Talk. Did you remember that Survivor series where they had Doink the Clown and it was all the little people? So it was Doink the Clown, and then he had like 5 little clowns, and then Jerry Lawler, and he had some little people, kings. That's what I remember about Jerry Lawler. Ken, you got me into Bollinger. Hey, awesome. Let me read this one from Lawless because he asks good questions as well. Shit, I lost it. Hold on. With the market being slow, are you making less or investing more? I'm making less because because for me, the market has been kind of quiet lately. I know for other traders, they're doing great right now. It just happens that the stuff I'm in 7 different trades at the moment. They're not bad enough to cut losses, but they're just trading sideways. It's been a pretty quiet month. Oh man, these questions are really good, and I'm not able to catch them. Have you used artificial intelligence bots for trading? No, but I do have a robo account from Ameritrade where they do some investing for me, and I set it for like the 20 years or something with the most risk, because let's just see what it can do. It's up 12% or something right now, but I don't know if that's a robot. Oh man, I don't even know how to pronounce this username. CHQKX. Do you seek trader status for the benefits? As far as I know, getting trader tax status is something that's very difficult. And you have to make like an unbelievable amount of trades daily to qualify. I just don't make, as at least what I read a while ago, unless they've changed it. I don't make that many trades to qualify. So no. Man, I got to catch up on some of these comments. Nara, you're not niche enough. Lawless, you said breaking news. What's the breaking news? Favorite new metal band? I think I'm all caught up. Now let me go read some of these other questions. Don't go away, anybody. I'm reading questions. Do you day trade or swing trade? I do both. Ricky Shear, what percentage cash are you in right now? Oh man, I don't know how to do that kind of math. 20% maybe? 30%? It changes all the time because I'm an active trader, right? So like, I'm in 7 stocks right now, so most of my money is tied up. I have my rainy day, my money set aside in my Ameritrade account for other trades or investments. I did miss your comment. If you asked something and I missed it, it's because I just got like flooded with comments and I missed it. So just repost it. I'm not gonna like block you or ban you for asking questions twice. I'm probably gonna miss it because I talk a lot and questions are rolling in. I saw that about Kelly going full time. You missed my comment earlier. Do you short? Why and why or why not? I don't short. I don't short frequently. I think the last time I shorted stocks was in like the recession when I was kind of new and I was like, wow, everything's getting hammered, and I was Googling like, what is shorting? Because that was 2008. I think I shorted a couple things just for funsies, like I wasn't sure what I was doing. So no, I don't. I generally am pretty optimistic about the markets. Is there a recession coming? Is there a crash coming? Whoa, is Sierra in here? I think I just saw her face pop up on the top. Generally, I'm pretty optimistic about the markets long term. If there was a reason where markets were just getting constantly hammered, like a recession or something, I might short. Oh, you know what? I think I did short a little bit in March of not last March, but the COVID March. I think I shorted 1 or 2 things. So no, not really. Sierra, it's so late. Why are you up? What time is it? Just a noob trader. Let's do a live sometime. Okay, let's do a live sometime. I'm gonna follow you back, and we can go live. Not tonight because I'm gonna probably wrap this up soon, but we can go live. Do you think? Hey, Anu, you're in here. How are you? I set up drip after your tip in your video. All right, I love it. That's great. Sierra, why are you up? Hi, Sierra. Do you think AMC is going to 100? Maybe. Like, what can you say? Nothing in stocks is guaranteed. I don't think with 100% certainty that AMC is going to go to 100, but frankly, I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Kelly is saying, I quit my hospital job 3 months ago and I've been doing trading steadily. Hey, that's awesome. And everyone's giving you props. Worst WrestleMania? The worst WrestleMania was last year's. Awful. It was like unwatchable. I mean, it was partially COVID's fault. I don't even remember the main events. They didn't have a crowd. They didn't pipe in cheers or boos. They had all this talent. The weird thing about WrestleMania during COVID was they hosted it in like their empty arena at the Performance Center in Florida. And they have all this talent, all this crew. And they were all in the building. They could have just said, everyone come in and you're the crowd. All the wrestlers who aren't on the card, you're the crowd. But they didn't. It was just in an empty, quiet arena. It was so surreal. So for that, it was kind of neat. But otherwise, it was very weird. That's the worst WrestleMania. And like 20 people just left the chat. So I'm not going to talk about wrestling anymore. Anu is in here. All my New York people. I think LGNYC was in here earlier. Here, let me catch up on some comments. Hey, a lollipop. Thank you, Sierra. Do you ever use relative sector strength to find sectors to trade in? No, I don't. Any predictions for the market? Market predictions? Oh, Wooden Pixel, you're back for the wrestling? Ask a question, I'll answer it. Do I use FinViz much? Yes, I do. I use FinViz a lot. FinViz is how I found one of the stocks to trade today. A friend of mine, who I don't think is in here right now, messaged me and was like, I'm getting into this trade. Actually, Lawless, you're the one who asked me this question earlier. I don't think I answered your question. You asked what I traded today. The ticker symbol was XELA. I don't know what it is. I'm losing like half of my followers and then they're coming right back. So I don't know if there's some glitch with TikTok or everyone's just bored with what I'm saying. There are 3 people who want to talk about wrestling. I'll do a wrestling TikTok live one day. And there can be like 5 people in here. Yeah, Anu's in New York. I shouldn't be telling people where she lives, but she's talked about it before. Sierra, I don't know if you're still in here, but Sierra, if you are on here, can you comment so BBBSSS can go follow you? Sierra, the point is Sierra has done videos on scanners and they're excellent, or screeners, I mean. But it depends on what I'm looking for. If I'm looking for something that's gotten beaten up, oh yeah, that's true. You do have New York in your handle. It's also hot in DC. It's like the same weather, basically. It's terrible. I hate this weather. I've always used TD Ameritrade scanners. And then about a few months ago, Sierra posted, I should just tag her in this video so she can come back in and talk to you about what her scanners are. You gotta find her though. Sierra, where are you? Come back. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, the scanners. So I'll look for stocks that are under $5, have unusually high volume, and it depends on what I'm looking for. So if I'm looking for a stock that's gotten beaten up and is very oversold, in other words, it's just been getting sold off every day, more and more people are selling, then I'm looking for something that's beaten up and might have a rebound or a little bit of a recovery. So then in that case, I'll set my scanner for like show me stocks that are that have broken out to the downside on Bollinger Bands, that are under $5, that have a relative strength of 30, which is oversold, and very high volume. I think I said that already. If I'm looking for something that I think could break out and push higher, then I would set my screener to basically the same, except I would look for, I would set my scanner to show me stocks that are crossing the middle line on the Bollinger Band, which is a 20-day moving average. I don't want something that's already broken out, because then I'm basically chasing or trying to catch up for something that might have already had its momentum, might have already had its rally. It's not to say that it breaks out once and then that's it, but in my experience, when it has its big breakout and has its big run, it's usually followed by a pullback. So if I do find stocks that have recently broken out and had huge run-ups, I will, in my notebook, write it down. I will write it down in my notebook I don't know if Sierra came back in because I tagged her. I wanted people to go watch her video. So basically, that's what I do. Everyone has their own scanner settings, which is very true. You're saying I'm so nice. Why? Why am I nice? Manhattan is awesome. New York City is my favorite city in the world. I live in DC. If I could live anywhere in the world, I would live in New York City. Lower East Side. Anu knows this. Thursday Kitchen is my favorite restaurant in New York City. If you live in New York City, you should go to Thursday Kitchen. If you're also in that area, Soft Swerve for ube ice cream. I've talked about this a lot. It's a Filipino purple sweet potato, but the ice cream is amazing. You have to go there and get it if you live in New York City. And Completely Lawless and Anu should meet up and then send me pictures. What do you think about Gates' move buying Coupang stock? I have never heard of that stock, so I'm going to make a note and I'm going to look it up. Gates, Coupang. I don't know. Jonathan Judas, does your crypto platform do dividend or staking like Coinbase? Yes. Well, okay, so everyone knows that I do, like I got a sponsored thing from Crypto.com. You can stake on there. I've personally found in my own experience that their staking isn't so great. It's like 4%. Obviously not bad, but on Kraken, much better. And Pancakes, like Blockchain Boy is always talking about a MetaMask Pancake swap that pays 100 and something 40%. I don't know much about crypto, so I haven't figured that out yet. But I am staking. I'm never going to be able to remember this. I'm staking a bunch of stuff on Kraken, and it's paying okay. Oh, Amazon competitor, Amazon of the Asian market. Okay, wait, Julie, you're going to be in New York in August. How come? Maybe I'll come up. Maybe I'll come up to New York in August and we can all meet. Alex, you said what is considered unusual high volume? It ranges from stock to stock. You can also set it to say like show me stuff that's hitting over 10 million shares or over 15 million shares. I just like to say show me stocks that are under $5 and are hitting unusually high volume, and the screener will show you the stocks. It basically, the screener knows. It'll look at the company. It'll look at what their daily average volume is. So let's say a penny stock trades 20 million shares in a day, back and forth, but had unusually high volume. It traded 40 million shares that day. When you type in show me stocks with unusually high volume, under $5, blah, 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 that stock will show up in your screener. Unusually high, whoa, 23 new messages. Oh my God. Let me catch up. No, I don't trade. I think someone just left. Oh, Kelly left. Got to be a mod for another channel. I'll catch you later. Bye. I was supposed to be there in August. They still haven't opened the border. What did I miss? Medic. Hey, thanks for the roses. Dren. New York has the best food. 100% agreed. Lawless, what happened to the Uncle Sam hat? I didn't order it. I don't know. I got tired of doing the characters. Maybe Stock Santa will make a return in December. Thoughts on Dogecoin? I don't really have any, It doesn't really have any utility. There's not really a reason, like VeChain and their stuff with like you can follow the progress of an item from the warehouse where it was made to the store. Dogecoin doesn't really have that. I think some stadiums started accepting it as a currency, but I don't have a forecast for Dogecoin. I sold most of mine. I bought it under a penny. I sold it from anywhere from 5, 12, 19, and 50 cents all the way up. I have a little bit left, right? Wendy O always talks about your moon bag. I have my moon bag. But I don't think Dogecoin's going to do anything. What's your forecast on EV stocks? This is D Condicon. And hemophiliac, you asked me, do I do options at all? No, not really. What is your forecast on electric vehicles over the next year? Any of them excite you? I own Tesla and I own Ford. And I own Blink, the charging station. I have a lot of high hopes, and ChargePoint is another one, and there's another electric vehicle charging company. If you ever watch Joe Biden, anytime he speaks about his jobs plan, one of the things he talks about is electric vehicles and how they want to have 500,000 charging stations across the country. That is going to be huge. Not only that, but he wants to gradually over time replace every government vehicle with an electric vehicle. That's going to be huge too. Continue the screener talk. Do you have any other questions about screeners in particular? So another thing about the screeners. Mateo, you're saying you bought Litecoin? I bought Litecoin like 5 years ago, and I didn't know much about crypto. I bought one Litecoin and I bought one Ethereum. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Is that how you say it? I bought one Ethereum, but that's what I bought. And since then, I've learned much more about crypto, and I've invested in Bitcoin, and I bought more Ethereum and Matic and VeChain, and I have a bunch of stuff. Come to Chicago, I would like to. Medic, have you ever toured the New York Stock Exchange? I'm thinking about a trip to the city soon. Have I ever? I think I did once when I was in like high school. Lawless, when are we getting another character? I bought like a bunch of these costumes. If you're new to following me, I had a Santa hat. I had the little like the hair. What do you wear? Like the thing over your hair with like the little prongs going off with hearts. And I was like stock Cupid. I did stock Leprechaun. I thought it would be like a funny way to like, but you know what? It reminded me of like the teacher in high school who comes in dressed up as like a Civil War general and is like, oh, well, and I was like, I don't want to, that seems kind of like nerdy and lame. So I stopped. But I will probably do stock Santa again. You got to do stock Santa. No ChargePoint, no Neo. What about ChargePoint, no Neo? Yeah, ChargePoint. I said there were, there's Blink, there's another one in ChargePoint. Neo, I don't know too much about Neo. I know the demand for electric vehicles in China is huge. I think I talked about this in the beginning. I think what's going to end up happening, just like a lot of these altcoins, a lot of these electric vehicle companies are going to cease to exist in the future. They're just not going to be able to compete when Toyota and Honda and Ford start getting into the electric vehicles more than they already are, right? I think they all kind of have an electric vehicle now, but like an electric vehicle. I think when they really make the push to go more electric, you're going to see Honda Civic, you're going to see CR-V, you're going to see Highlander, and you know all the other Toyota cars and Honda cars, and I think they're going to see a lot more. I think we're going to see a lot more. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up on these comments. I think they're going to crush a lot of these smaller electric vehicle companies. So I don't know about Neo, but I think a lot of these smaller ones will get bought out or merged or taken over by the larger ones. The big name companies will win out. Medic says I'd pick ChargePoint over Blink just from a market cap perspective. Are we talking about Anu? What did Anu say? Oh, for the screener talk, if a stock has unusually high volume, do you look for other indicators too? Yes. So once I found my stocks, I'll open them up on my Thinkorswim platform and I'll look at the actual chart. I look for, if I'm looking for something that's been sold off, I'm looking for something that's entering oversold on the relative strength index or under the 30 line. So relative strength, there's a 70 line and there's a 30 line. When the stock is selling off and it crosses below that 30 line, It's an indicator, not a guarantee, that the stock is oversold and might have a rebound. That's something that I could make a potential trade in. So if I'm looking for a stock that's gotten hammered and beat up, when I find a stock with unusually high volume, which can work both ways, volume can be to the upside or to the downside. Once I've assembled my list, then I look at each one individually on the chart, and I go from there. I look at relative strength, I look at Bollinger Bands, I look to see where we are on the Bollinger Bands. By the way, if you don't follow me on YouTube, I have much more videos, a headband, that's what I was talking about. I have much more in-depth videos on Bollinger Bands, relative strength, technical analysis, and screeners on my YouTube channel. Link is in my bio. And then I'll go from there. So there might be a stock with unusually high volume, but it's not oversold yet, right? It's on the way down. Well, I'm not going to try to guess and time the bottom. I'm going to wait for my indicators to be there to sort of go from there. A Tesla cop car would be interesting. Medic, I think we should all meet up in New York City and go to the New York Stock Exchange. That sounds fun. I think I'm all caught up now. Let me go and see what I've missed. Alex, what are you talking about? BLK, every once in a while, it's fun, not lame. Oh, I see, the characters. Yeah, the characters. McMill, Alex, I love your YouTube. Thank you. Hey, Edible Food Cravings. What's up, man? Hey, chef. Everyone, if you like food, this guy right here, and Bimmy, I don't know if Bimmy is in here tonight, but he's a great chef too. You gotta follow these guys if you like food. Edible Food Cravings goes live. He cooks. His stuff looks amazing. Tesla cop car, too easy to burn in a riot. I think Tesla will not lead possible big dip in the future. Peg City, favorite Hulk Hogan match? Favorite Hogan match was Hogan versus Rock at WrestleMania 18. You can't beat it. That crowd alone was unbelievable. And the crowd is what made that match. Thank you, chef. I'm here to learn. I'm here to teach. I don't charge anyone, but I'll eat whatever you cook. How about that? McMill, Alex, honestly, dude, you are the reason I started to get enthusiastic about investing and trading. That's really cool. I appreciate that. That means a lot. Yeah, Hogan and Giant is like the classic Hulk Hogan match, but my personal favorite. Well, the Hogan-Andre match is the reason I started watching wrestling. I was like 3 years old. So I owe that match for a lot, but we having steak. I'm about it. TikTok has been life-changing. It feels like an information revolution of sorts. I totally agree. When I started trading 11 years ago, in 2000, I started trading in 2011 and maybe 2010 a little bit. Nothing like this existed. There was no TikTok. There was no Instagram. YouTube didn't exist in the way it does today. I would have loved for something like this. I didn't know any stock traders. I'd never met a stock trader. There was no one for me to talk to. You know, it's not like you're working in a restaurant. Let's do that since the chef is in here. Edible Food Cravings, go follow him. If you're working in a restaurant with a lot of chefs, you can go up to the chef that you trust and that you like, and you can say, hey, I'm like, I don't know what to do here. I've been making, carbonara, and it's just not good. And can you give me some guidance and tips? You're surrounded by other chefs and other cooks when you're in a restaurant, and you have other friends who are cooks and chefs. But when you're a stock trader, you're kind of on your own. There aren't a lot of stock trader. I mean, I'm sure there are groups on Facebook and stuff, but I never joined them. It wasn't until I got on TikTok. Of course I remember Yokozuna. Man, that documentary that they did on WWE Network about Yokozuna was so sad. I highly recommend it. It was interesting and just their documentaries are amazing. And the one about Yoke was something else. I remember seeing him when I was a little kid. My mom took me to a WWF back in the day and Yokozuna came out, and we had pretty good seats. The guy was like 500 pounds. Unbelievable to be as agile as he was. Edible food cravings, you are welcome. That's what I try to do. I try to make it as easy to understand, because there's a lot of people on this app especially who do exactly what I do, but there's a lot of people on this app who don't. And they're like, oh, let me complicate it and confuse the shit out of you. And then you'll DM them and go, I didn't understand. And they go, well, buy my course. Pay me for one-on-one lessons. I don't want to do that. I want to make it approachable and easy to understand for everybody, not only if you can afford to or not. That to me was the best Hulk Hogan match. Are you talking about the one with Yoko and Hogan? Was that the one outdoors where Hogan slammed Yokozuna? That was a good one too. Peg City, A&E just had a bunch of biographies. I watched every single one of them. In my opinion, the documentary on Austin, on Stone Cold, and Mick Foley were the standouts. I thought that the Warrior one did a little bit of like some whitewashing. Like, he was a pretty not great person, and I think they kind of just like brushed it under the rug, and they were like, forget about all the racist and homophobic stuff that he said. The Savage one, I felt like they kind of buried him. It was a little unnecessary. And there was no one to stick up for Savage, right? It was just Hogan, and they brought on like that stripper ex-girlfriend of his who kind of buried him a little bit more. Let me read some of these comments that I missed out on. TikTok was made for my ADHD. Yeah. Man, I can sit on TikTok for like 4 hours. And then I don't know what happened. Did I like Ready to Rumble? Yeah, it was okay. I thought the wrestler should have won the Oscar. The Mickey Rourke one. McMill. I was the kitchen manager until I switched to the AGM of my restaurant. Your restaurant? Are you still a manager? Where's your restaurant? Because I love food. I'm going to wait for someone to ask a question. Edible food cravings. Thank you for sharing the live, man. I was a line cook of Kansas City barbecue. I was a line cook at a Tex-Mex restaurant for 4 years. I loved it. I miss it. I miss the restaurant industry. After you have your screened stack of stocks, what are the 4 things you look at? Johnny's Tavern. I'm going to write that down. And I'm going to go on Yelp. And I'm going to give you a 1-star rating. I'm just kidding. After you have your screened stack of stocks, what are the next 4 things you look at? So after I run a screener, I just pull up the chart. I want to see the daily volume. I want to see if it's broken out to the upside or to the downside of the on the Bollinger Bands. So if it's broken out to the downside, I want to see if we're close to oversold on the relative strength, or if we have a ways to go. If we have a ways to go, I'll set alerts. If we're close, I sit there and I watch and I wait for it to get oversold. I look at the volume as well, and I try to make a decision from there. I also draw up those Fibonacci retracements, which is a more advanced swing trading and day trading thing. I have videos on that on my YouTube channel as well. If you're looking to just invest, you don't need to worry about them. And I go from there. Max Earns, what platform would you never recommend for investing? Robinhood. Why? I think a lot of people don't realize that they go, well, I like Robinhood because the trades are free. They're free everywhere. Yes, in part because of what Robinhood did by eliminating the trades. So yeah, thanks Robinhood. Everyone followed suit after that. But Robinhood, it's not bad. It's fine for just casual investing. If you're looking to buy 1 share a month of Apple, Robinhood is fine. If you're looking to be a more active investor and you want to use more resources and tools education. You have access to their tech support and their chat on Thinkorswim, which is their trading platform. Then I would recommend TD Ameritrade. Edible Food Cravings, where can I invest as a beginner? Any brokerage app that you have for investing is mostly going to be fine. Again, I think TD Ameritrade is the best. You can open a basic account with TD Ameritrade. You don't have to worry about Thinkorswim. That's for me. I'm a stock trader. If you're an investor, you don't have to do that. What I would recommend, thanks again for sharing the video. What I would recommend as a beginner investor is to, first of all, open the account, whether it's Fidelity, Robinhood, or whatever. Is it true they sold data sheets to hedge fund companies? I believe so. Do you think crypto prices will be affected when the election audit reflects fraud? Are you talking about the election in New York where they counted all those test ballots by mistake, or are you talking about something else? Ameritrade doesn't have any fees. They have a minimum account requirement of like $2,000, I think, but I think that's only for margin. I think if you have a cash account, there's no minimum. Let me go back to the chef's question, edible food cravings. The best way to start investing is get a piece of paper, a pen, and write down all the companies that you know and that you use frequently. Every company. You have an iPhone? Apple. You use Spotify? Spotify. You have a Honda? Honda. Write every company. You go to Starbucks every day to get a coffee, write that down. You go to CVS to buy a Coke, that's two companies. It's CVS, it's Coke. Write them down. What kind of shoes do you wear? Is it Nike or is it some like small brand that you found on Facebook and they custom make the shoes out of plastic? You can't buy that one, but you can buy Nike. Do you have a PlayStation? Do you have a Xbox? That's Sony, that's Microsoft. Just assemble a list. Yeah, TD Ameritrade does charge for over the counter, and it's I think it's like 60 cents or something, so it's not going to kill you. I would compile a list of the companies you know. That doesn't necessarily mean that they're good investments, but it's a place to start. You can look at the financials. They're on any website, even Yahoo. You don't have to have a brokerage account to look at the financials. You just want to look at revenue and set it to year. Is it year over year? Not month to month, but year over year. And then look for companies that are having increased revenues or increasing a dividend or decreasing debt. Debt isn't always bad, especially for new companies because they have to grow, so they take on some debt. And then go from there. Look at the company, look at the reviews. If you're on TD Ameritrade, there's a side panel on the website that will show you all the analysts. I don't read a lot of 10 eyes. No. Hey, Amir. Sorry, I got distracted. I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying? You can look at the analyst reports. A company like Apple, every analyst is going to say, strong buy it, we love it. Other companies, it's going to be a little different. You can also buy, if you don't want to own individual stocks, which can be hard to manage. It can be hard to research. You're spending a lot of time looking at each balance sheet, reading analyst reviews. Generally, if you're a new investor, you can just like buy a broad market ETF. Hey, goodbye, Julie. Let me know when you're in New York. I'll come up. 10Ks. No, I don't read them. Sorry, I got a lot of comments. I want to catch up. Oh, Teebs is in here. Hello. And I think Nara was... The Arizona audit was an embarrassment. Oh, Nara, you live there, so you know. Let me read some of these comments and then I'm going to get out of here. Dogecoin to 2 bits. What does that mean? 2 bits? $2? Okay. Chef, I don't know if you're still in here, but I got sidetracked. You can buy a broad market ETF if you don't want to own individual stocks. A broad market ETF like VOO. I did a video on it a couple days ago. I can tag you in it if you want to see it. A broad market ETF is basically a basket of stocks. There's S&P 500, which can be just the S&P. There's a Vanguard total market one, which isn't just the S&P. And you can buy that and just invest your you can invest in a broad market index fund. Essentially, it's invested in every, so the S&P index fund, S&P 500 has 503 companies in it, and these index funds basically invest in the S&P, in all of them. And that's a great place to start as an investor who doesn't want to. I mean, if you're a chef and you're working in a restaurant, you don't have the time. I know how hard chefs work. I did it. I worked in a restaurant. You guys are there from the beginning, working on the menu, cooking, prep. You cook, you get home, you work unbelievable. You basically work double shifts all the time. It's exhausting. You don't have the time to sit there and read balance sheets. Apple, Microsoft, McDonald's, whether they're quarterly things. It might just be more beneficial for you to buy a broad market index fund. Maybe you buy some dividend stocks, right? Like Verizon and AT&T, Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, these companies that make, everything, right? They make Band-Aids and shampoo and ketchup and they pay pretty good dividends. What you want to do is you want to enroll in something, whatever brokerage you're using, you want to enroll in something called DRIP. It stands for Dividend Reinvestment Plan. So when you get a dividend, usually they're paid quarterly. Yes, you can swing trade. You can swing trade ETFs. I have a friend who swing trades SPY all the time. So anyway, I keep getting distracted. I'm trying to answer the chef's question. You want to enroll in DRIP, Dividend Reinvestment, and that's how you compound, right? So you have 100 shares. Then you get a dividend, and it gives you enough money in that dividend that you can buy another share. And then you have 101 shares. Now you're getting a dividend on 101 shares. Maybe you get a bonus. Maybe you come into some money. Maybe you sell a bunch of stuff in your house. And you buy 25 shares. So now you have 126 shares earning you a dividend. Now your dividend comes and you've made enough money that you can get 1.5 shares. So it just builds. It's a slow process. It's not exciting. But by the time you're in your 60s, you'll have accumulated hundreds, if not even thousands, because the other thing you'll do is you'll be dollar cost averaging. Every month you're adding to your position. On the 1st of the month or 15th or the last day of the month, you add to your position. You buy another 1 share or another 10 shares, whatever it is. And you just keep adding to your position. So by the time you're in your 60s, you've amassed a humongous amount of shares in a company or many companies. That's what I would recommend you do. Max Earns, are you leaving? Goodbye. ETFs trade like stocks. Indexes don't. I'm missing a lot of comments. Give me a second. I got to catch up on all these comments. But basically, Chef, your options as an investor are, do you want to buy individual stocks or do you just want to buy a broad market index fund or an ETF, which does all the work for you, essentially? They buy the stocks, they manage the fund. It's a personal choice. It depends on how busy you are, how hard you're working, how much you want to additionally spend on your investments, or do you want to buy an index fund? Historically, index funds go up about 9 to 12% per year. This year, it's way higher because the markets have been on such a tear. I wouldn't say SPY. Yes, but ETFs get balanced, end of day. What are we talking about? I missed something. Oh, Alex asking if you can swing trade. EOD means end of day. Chef, you want the easiest? I'm not a financial advisor, so I can't tell you what to do. But the easiest, sorry, my nose is itching like crazy. I think there's like some allergies. The easiest would be a broad market index fund. I'm going to tag you in that video that I did as soon as I end this live, which is going to be soon because I got to go to bed. But I'm going to tag you in that video. I listed out a couple of broad market index funds as an idea for you. You can look at them. What you want to do, by the way, is when you take that ticker symbol, you go on Google, you type in the ticker symbol, it'll take you to that company's website. So whether it's Vanguard or a Schwab or a Fidelity or whatever mutual fund who manages it, you want to look at their top 10 holdings. You'll immediately recognize a boatload of companies, right? It's going to be Apple, there's going to be Johnson & Johnson, Procter & Gamble, Coke, Pepsi, McDonald's, Tesla. There's going to be all these companies. Unless it's in the S&P 500, then it might be more heavy in tech. And you just start buying. I'm an AMC bear. I mean, no, I'm not. I have AMC. I own a lot of it. I want it to go up. Why am I a bear? I'm very bullish on AMC. Hey, Rice Gobbler. Your question about swing trading method. I'm trying. Ask me your question. Amir, you said, can we go live? I'm about to end this live because I'm going to go to bed, but let's go live when we have more time later in the week. I buy it. Oh. No, don't go off. I'm in AMC. I think because I'm realistic with stuff, people think I'm a bear. I'm not bullish on or bearish on AMC. Yes, that's the one. Chef, if you're in here, Nara's comment right there. FSKAX is a Fidelity Total Stock Index. NYP, a good ETF. Sorry, my nose is itching like crazy. I don't know what's wrong with me. VTI is one, VOO, SPY, but SPY has more volatility. Let me catch up on Rice Gobbler's little question here. Question about swing trading method I'm trying. I buy extra shares of my longs and take profits at resistance. Extra shares of your longs and take profits at resistance. Yeah, that makes sense. So, but they're your longs. Yeah. So you're basically swing trading your longs, your long-term holdings. You're basically adding some extra shares and swing trading them. I do that too. That's it. Thank you. Avora 2. Chef. SPLG is a great, it's very affordable. It's like $40 or $50 a share. It's an index fund. That's one that I like. That's a good fund to start with. The other ones like VOO, SPY, they're like $300 to $400 per share. So you're basically buying like one a month, right? That's expensive. It's a lot to be buying 10 or 100 would cost you $30,000. SPLG is in the 40s, much more reasonable. If you're a new investor, you get in, you buy a couple shares every month. It pays a dividend, right? It pays a dividend, so you want to reinvest it. That's what I would do. I figure it saves you from setting stops and stuff, and if it goes the wrong way, you can chill. Yeah, totally. I prefer, if you're going to start swing trading, I prefer that you start with large cap stocks, because if you're stuck on the wrong side of swing trading some pump and dump garbage penny stock, and you get caught on the wrong side and you don't cut losses at 3%, and then the next thing you know it's down 14 or 20 or 30%, you're fucked. You're done. It's over. You're not going to sell at 30% loss. right? Because you didn't sell it at 7%. You're definitely not going to sell at 30 and lose 30% of your money. Then you're in big trouble. And what ends up happening is it's probably going to keep dropping, right? It's a penny stock. It's volatile. It's garbage. The next thing you know, you're sitting on a 70% loss on some garbage penny stock. You've essentially lost 100% of your money because you don't have access to that money anymore to trade other stocks. If you swing trade McDonald's or Microsoft or Apple or something like that, and it goes down a little bit, it's not the worst thing in the world. Yeah, Teladoc, I'm down on that too. It's not the worst thing in the world because you're swing trading McDonald's or Apple or something like that. So, you know, these are usually seen as long-term investments. So it's not the worst thing. Your trade became an investment, which I know Jim Cramer and a lot of other people say your trades should never become investments. Because I guess the theory is, well, I didn't cut my losses, so now I'm an investor. But you're not really an investor. You're just stuck on some loser company. Your trades can become your investments like I've done that in the past where I've opened a trade in a company. I'm going to trade it for swing trade it for a week or 2 weeks. And then it's something like, let me think of an example of a trade that became an investment. Funko. I traded Funko a lot in 2018, and I didn't know much about it. I know they make those like little bobblehead things. Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. No, not Jones Soda. God, that was worse. Yeah, there's a difference between bag holding. There's a difference between a trade becoming an investment because you didn't get out in time and you're holding the bag versus, thank you for the follow, versus a trade becoming an investment because you've learned about the company, you like it, you believe in it, and now you want to invest. So I did that, Roblox. I did that with Funko. I started trading it. I traded it between $18 and $21. Every time it was 18, I bought. Every time it got into the low 20s, I sold. As soon as it was in the low 20s, it would drop. I'd buy it back at 18, back and forth, back and forth. It got to the point where I was trading the stock so frequently that I was like, let me learn about this company because I'm in it enough that I should know more than just little bobbleheads or whatever. I researched it. I liked what I saw. They had growth. They had licensing deals with everyone. I'm still waiting to enter Roblox. Yeah, me too. I don't follow it very often. I don't even know what Roblox is right now. Is it in the 90s still, or is it higher? Someone will tell me. So your trades can become your investments. Like Funko was a good trade that became a good investment. It's 89. Yeah. All right, everybody. I think I'm gonna wrap this up unless we got any last minute questions. And then Chef, I'm gonna tag you in that video that I did earlier about the funds. Oh, sorry, Amir, I just saw your question. You'll be in Philly. How far are you from Philly? I'm in DC, so 2 hours. This is from Rice Gobbler. I got my girl a Funko so I can get her a new one every year for her birthday. Have a good one. You too, Chef. Yeah, Amir, I'm 2 hours. DC is 2 hours. See you, Daddy. Love you too. I'll come to Philly. We can get some cheesesteaks. We can get Nalima to come too from UK. You're welcome. First time I've watched on TikTok. I love to see the funds video. Wooden. Hold on, I'm gonna write your username down too because I'm gonna tag you in the video. Wooden. No. Wooden PJ. Wooden PJ IXEL. I'm gonna tag you and I'm gonna tag Chef in that ETF video. Wizwit? What's that? What did I miss? You're welcome. Poppy, Mo, you just joined, but I'm wrapping this live up, everybody. Oh, Amir. Well, I know your username. I can tag you. I'll tag you as well. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Have a good night. And follow Amir as well. He's a great stock trader as well. Very smart. We went live last week. The comments were unbelievable. I know when you go live, on your side, you get your questions. On mine, I get mine. But the comments were just like endless praise for Amir. This guy is smart, a lot smarter than me. I was taking notes. I was like, no shit, that's interesting. So the guy knows his stuff. We're going to go live again because the comments were just like nonstop. Can you go live with this guy again? So we will. Have a good night, everybody. Thanks for watching.